Greetings everyone, and welcome. First, let me give you a quick update on things as they're coming along. I finished a rant that I'm sure a lot of you may not agree with, but then again, who on YouTube ever agrees with anybody else's opinion or rant or ramble? I've also got a lot of upcoming projects. With 2 weeks away, I'm going to get started on the Winghead edition, so I'm going to put a lot of stuff on the back burner. This will probably be the last video that gets out. But I've done a rant. I'm going to do a top 10 heroes and villains X-Men list. That was definitely a good suggestion by 2 Mercy. I'm gonna do my top 10 personal favorite Superman villains. I've got my 2 lesser knowns for both the Marvel and DC universes finished. I've got a lot of other lesser knowns that I want to get started on. I've got quite a few projects, including a mock movie trailer that I'm sure you guys may enjoy. So I've got lots of stuff planned. Some of it may take longer than others, and some of it I may not get around to until much later, sadly. But I got a lot of good things planned. I got a lot of stuff planned for you guys, and hopefully you guys won't find any of my stuff repetitive, although I'm sure by now a lot of you find the stuff that I do slightly repetitive. But I'm trying, guys. I'm coming up with new ideas, and I'm trying to change up some stuff, so look forward to a lot of the new stuff that I present, and hopefully you'll still like a lot of the old stuff that I present as well. But anyway, I shall move on to my thoughts on a game I just completed, and that game is Infamous 2. That's right, the Electric Man Cole McGrath is back. And in his latest adventure, McGrath is actually going to be traveling to the New Orleans-inspired city of New Moray to try to gain more power to defeat the Beast, who, for those of you that have not beaten Infamous 1, is this massive, powerful conduit that is supposedly from the main antagonist Kessler's future. And this conduit supposedly will ravage the world. Now, without trying to give too much away, I'm going to get into the story. Pretty much, Infamous 2 picks up where Infamous 1 leaves off. A woman named Lucy Quo, who you find out was actually the partner of John White, who you met in Infamous 1, that she worked in New Moray where he worked Empire City, and they were collaborating. Now, one of the unique features of this game is that you can upload trophy data. Now, it doesn't take save data, it takes trophy data. So for anybody who hasn't played the first Infamous, I would strongly suggest that you invest some time into getting all the trophies in Infamous 1, because some of the things that carry over is 1+ karma, which means that you'll have a full bar when you start. You'll have bonus XP, and just etc, etc. And also, the decisions that you made throughout the game will actually carry over into this game. So characters' perceptions, dead drops, and everything will be changed if you decide to take the trophy data and continue your path from Infamous 1, whether it be good or evil. And one of the many factors of this, and a lot of stuff is easier this time. Blast shards are slightly easier to find, and there's an ability after you complete 60 side quests called Blast Shard Sense that will locate you to all the blast shards. So anybody who didn't enjoy the side quests, there's something that you can look forward to if you decide to get the game, because it really does help you find all the blast shards, and it's really very helpful, especially if you're trying to collect all of them. Also, what's really cool about this game as well is that most of Cole's abilities after the beginning, because at the very beginning you fight the Beast. However, like a la Metroid style, you lose all your powers. So Cole has to regain them. Now, Cole doesn't lose all his powers. He can still do shockwave blasts, he can still shoot bolts, he can still do all that stuff. He won't be able to do his rockets. He won't be able to do, however, he'll still have the air thrusters, the ability to go across electrical lines, like power slide across them. Excuse me. So it's not a complete loss, but you are slightly hindered. But Cole gets some new abilities along the way. One of those is the electrical tether, which allows you to grab walls with which you shoot this electrical line, and allows Cole to basically zip up buildings. And the way Cole zips up buildings kind of reminds us of a certain wall-crawling Marvel superhero, if you catch my drift. So, and also the game kind of parodies a lot of games. They make fun of Call of Duty and Ratchet and Clank and so on and so forth. Like some of the examples is like Call of Booty, Uncharted Love, Hey, Low Reach. Yeah, I will give Sucker Punch credit, and also if you got the Hero Edition like I did, you'll be able to get all the Collector's Edition and all this stuff. But one of the great things is that Cole, one of the hidden skins for Cole's melee weapon, and that's another thing that I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to bring it all together here. Cole gets a new weapon in this game, and because a lot of people complained about the melee combat, this time Cole will have a melee weapon in the amp, which is this electrical tuning fork that basically feeds off of Cole's electrical abilities. Now, it doesn't drain him, but it more or less, it serves, I guess you can say, as an extension of him, almost kind of like Captain America's shield. And this thing is fun because Cole can do a lot of crazy combos and stuff, like one ultra combo, as they call it, where Cole takes the amp, leaps up in the air, spins around somebody's head, and then just flips and dumps them on their head. So Cole can do some pretty awesome stuff with the amp. And also one of the alternate skins, and this is Sucker Punch being Sucker Punch again, is that one of the alternate skins for the amp is Sly Cooper's cane. Nice little nod to the Thievius Raccoonus. Overall, another great aspect, I think, of this game as well is, and I'm sure a lot of you are chomping at the bit, is the alternate abilities. And now this is one thing that in the trailers that a lot of people, including myself, were very curious about. Apparently at a certain point in the story, Quo, who apparently through a plot device has been forced into being a conduit, and another conduit named Nyx, that they both represent different powers, Quo being ice, Nyx being fire. You can imagine good and evil. And I gotta say, the abilities that you do get from the fire and ice stills kind of add a whole degree of power to Cole. So experiment around, and also another great ability is the ionic powers. This can go from massively draining enemies in a very large radius to shooting a gigantic ice wave that can freeze nearly everything in its path, to Cole throwing a frickin' ionized tornado. And the lightning strike is in there, but they call it the ionic storm, and sadly you cannot direct it. It only takes out the biggest enemy. So, and also there's user generated content. They added a create a mission feature that you can get XP and stuff. And bottom line, I mean, there's so much to explain with the plot and everything, but if I do, I'd be giving stuff away. But all I can tell you guys is that if you have not played Infamous 2, go on to the PlayStation Marketplace, download the demo, and check it out for yourself. This is truly one of the many great examples of a sequel outdoing its predecessor. And in my opinion, Infamous 2, awesome game. Definitely a big, massive improvement over the first one, and I highly recommend anyone that has a PS3 to pick it up. And if you haven't already, pick up the first one and play it. Just amazing game. Very good. I applaud you, Sucker Punch. Now let's see if you can do Sly Cooper 4 if that's still your domain.